Hi, my name is Angelica, and this is the Angelica Unfiltered channel, where I talk about health, wellness, weight loss, but mostly fat acceptance. Today I wanted to talk about a subject that is very near and dear to my heart, which is childhood obesity. I'm a former fat child, now a fat adult, and I have a lot of opinions about the obesity epidemic, especially with children, because I feel like nowadays, it's gotten so much worse than it used to be. Obviously, there used to be chubby kids when I was growing up. I was born in 1997, so I was growing up in the early 2000s, 2010s, and I feel like back then, it was like rare to see a very fat child. Like, of course there was chubby ones, I was a chubby one, I was an overweight one, but I feel like nowadays, like, I know you guys don't like this fucking word, but like some of the kids out there are fucking humongous, and it is very upsetting to see. I collected a handful of Instagram reels that we're going to go over, which all talk about the childhood epidemic, or children being overweight and unhealthy food and stuff like that. I always forget to say this, but if you watch all my videos, then you should fucking subscribe to my YouTube channel, because like half the people that watch my videos aren't subscribed, and make sure to like this video. So for this first video, we have Nikki Baby 1010. And the caption on the screen says, childhood obesity is a form of abuse. You know, gotta censor ourselves here on YouTube, because I know we have the freedom of speech here in America, but on YouTube, we don't. Because we'll get flagged if we say words that sometimes bring an uncomfortable conversation.
I get canceled after I say this shit. Childhood obesity is a form of abuse.
The first time I heard someone say that online, I thought it was like kind of extreme. But it's true, and I don't know if maybe I'm just so numb, or like maybe, I mean, I grew up in a very unhealthy environment. If you watch a lot of my videos, then you know that when I was growing up, my dad was a very severe alcoholic. So I feel like what I think is normal, or like what is okay, is probably like a little bit skewed. So like the first time I heard childhood obesity is a form of abuse, I'm like, is it really? And then, you know, like you start to think about it, and it's like, yeah, because technically to a point, you are harming your child. You are neglecting to take care of them in a proper way. And I guess when I think of childhood obesity, it's not just like a child being a little bit chubby, you know, a child having baby fat. It's like when they get a fucking 150 pounds in 3rd grade. Like, we're talking big, humongous kids. I just say humongous all the time now because I know you guys hate it. And I like to do things out of spite.
So many children getting diagnosed with congestive heart failure, diabetes, and high blood pressure is ridiculous.
And what's unfortunate is a lot of those things could be prevented in children. Of course, you know, when people get older in their 50s, 60s, 70s, like, illness is bound to happen when you get super old. But our children should not be having that.
Are the parent, and you get to decide what the fuck your child eat. Now, fun food every once in a while is okay, but keeping a pantry full of snacks, that shit ain't necessary. Try to teach your children how to eat fruits and vegetables.
I think it's fine to have snacks around, but like she says, like, they should be prioritizing fruits and vegetables for a snack instead of just eating fucking fruit snacks, goldfish, Kit Kats, or what are those bars, the Kindo bars? Like, I don't think it's good to snack all the time, even though I like to fucking snack after dinner. We should be focusing on having hearty, satisfying meals, so then you or your children don't want to snack.
You see what I'm saying? Start them off young, so when they do become an adult, they won't struggle. They won't.
I forget what statistic it is. I think maybe Honey Bison said it in one of her videos recently, but like, if you're obese during childhood, you're more than likely to become obese as an adult.
Struggle with trying to lose weight and struggle with all these medical illnesses and shit. Don't nobody want to be on no darn pill the rest of their life for the—
Yeah, and I just really feel like having your child be so overweight or obese is just setting them up for a lifetime of failure. Obviously, like, I know people can beat obesity and lose weight, but it's really not that easy, especially, like, if you grew up in a household that only ate out, or every single meal was from a drive-thru or frozen. Like, so then when you go out on your own, of course you can use Google or YouTube and TikTok to find meals and recipes and stuff, But we all have this basis of what is normal and like what is okay. So if you're just used to eating like shit as a child, it's going to take a lot to change your habits as an adult because you have to relearn the correct ways of living. You know what I mean?
For that damn hard, we gotta break the generational curses. Just because our parents let us do that shit back in the day don't mean it's okay for us to let our children self-sabotage as well.
There's a statistic that says that if a child has one obese parent, there is a 50% chance that they will become obese. And if a child has two obese parents, there is a 80% chance that that child will become obese. And if the adult population is continuing to get fatter and, you know, the obesity epidemic is affecting adults, what do you think is going to happen when those people have children? They're also more than likely going to create obese adults. And I think this is something that's spiraled and like gotten out of hand very quickly. I mean, we all know the obesity rates have exploded in the last 20 years.
Now, if they don't eat the shit you cook, they simply ain't fucking hungry.
I don't know if I agree with that take as much because I know children don't really have as developed palates, or like they can just be picky and annoying. I think there could be a happy medium between finding foods that your children would like to eat that are still nutritious and not starving them and forcing them to eat something that they actually hate. You can sneak vegetables and shit into recipes.
They can sit up and eat that junk food. Stop buying junk and watch and see what happens. Now,
yeah, and the kids crave junk food because that's all that they know. If you don't have junk food around the house, then they're not gonna want to eat it. I mean, they might have access to it at school or when they go over to other people's houses, but your house is their go-to spot or like where they live a majority of their life. So if you install good habits there, then it's more than likely those habits will transfer wherever those children go as well.
every once in a while you get tired, you don't feel like cooking, especially being a single parent. But don't make it no habit to buy them junk all the time. We got all the access to all this information. It ain't no damn excuse, y'all.
Yeah, I totally agree. I feel like there is no better time to lose weight and be educated about nutrition because we have the literal world at our fingertips nowadays with almost everyone having a smartphone and access to Google or YouTube. Of course, there could be misinformation that floats around, but if you keep watching different videos, you can kind of see a thread of truth and figure out what's real and what's not.
Stop shoving this bullshit in their face because you don't feel like cooking. Get off your ass, cook them something to eat, and do better. I love y'all. Don't cancel me.
Oh, look, we have honey bison right here. 100%. It's true. My daughter started gaining a little weight when we were slacking. Once we fixed what was available to her, the weight came right off. Parents, it's us. It's definitely us. Children are a product of their environment. As an early childhood educator, I've seen a few obese young children, and it's sad because not only is it unhealthy, it's an invitation for bullying. Message may seem harsh, but it's the truth, and sometimes the truth hurts before it heals. I like that. Truth hurts before it heals. This just came up on my feed today, and I thought it was a dog shit take. So of course we have to watch it together so we can get mad and yell at the camera. So the caption reads, "Y'all are so annoying. Having obese kids isn't inherently child abuse. Hashtag PCOS, explore page, fitness, weight loss, morning cardio, childhood obesity. And this is probably going to be the exact opposite of the video we just watched. The text on the screen says, "Stop blaming parents for childhood obesity. Morning rant." I already know I'm gonna probably disagree with this. I think I watched like the first 5 seconds. And I was like, save for later, please and thank you.
Stop blaming parents for childhood obesity.
Why? You're the parent, so you need to be taking care of that child. The same way that parents are responsible if their kids smell like cat piss. The same way the parents are responsible if their children is flunking all of their classes. The same way that parents are responsible for their children getting no sleep. I really hate the lack of accountability in like literally everyone. I just like literally can't stand everyone acting like they're a fucking baby, sitting in a crib, having absolutely no control over anything. Fed when someone tells them to, they get their diaper changed when someone changes it, they go to bed when someone tells them to. No, we are fucking grown-ups. We are grown-ups. Of course, there's some things in our life that we cannot control. We have a lot more control than a lot of us tend to believe, because we would rather be victims of our circumstances than do anything about it.
I don't like when you guys say that. It gives me the same ick as when every couple months white women get on here and they talk about how poor people shouldn't have children. And I think it's rude. I think it's not educated. And I think that it's...
If your child is obese, then you are either uneducated or neglectful, or you don't care about your kid enough, so you just give them whatever the fuck they want.
Childhood obesity is not a parental issue. It is a societal issue.
Society is not raising a child. Parents are. And I guess maybe like the village that raises the child, you know, people always say that one quote, like, it takes a village to raise a child. So maybe it's not just the parents, it's, you know, the neighbors, the grandparents, the aunts and uncles, whoever like takes care of the child. But at the end of the day, if a child came out of your vagina, or you adopted that child, or you just take responsibility for a child for some reason, if your sperm helped create a child, unless you signed some sort of paperwork to say that you have no responsibility over a child, over said child, then that child is your fucking responsibility.
Like, you gotta understand, number one, like, go into a Family Dollar, like, go to a Dollar Tree, go to any store, go...
The Dollar Tree, Dollar General, Family Dollar, they have these sections in the store. I don't know if you guys have ever seen them. There's this one section, it's usually in the back, and they have these refrigerators, and sometimes they'll have freezers too. In those sections, besides the frozen pizza and the ice cream and the juice, there's frozen vegetables. And they even have, I've seen shrimp, cod, frozen chicken. Of course, those things are processed in some sort of way, but that's healthier than the other options. And then there's also these other aisles in the store that have canned foods. And of course, yeah, there's canned raviolis and beefaroni and whatever fucking stuff that Chef Boyardee makes. But there's also canned corn, green beans, asparagus. They also have rice and beans. You know, there's just more than fucking potato chips at the store. Did you know that? Sorry, just got a phone call. It just infuriates me when somehow people tend to call me when I'm filming a YouTube video. I forgot what we were talking about, so I'm just gonna hit play.
where children might go and consume food and look at the options provided, number one.
Say your child goes to a friend's house after school. If your child is a normal, healthy weight that has healthy eating habits, if your child is active, if they are drinking a lot of water, if they're getting good sleep, if they don't have certain disorders and diseases, if they have a fucking handful of Doritos at their friend's house, they're not gonna balloon up to 120 pounds. Our weight is determined by a long period of time and determined by our calorie intake. So, you know, if your kid goes a little crazy at a birthday party, they have a slice of cake and, you know, they catered lasagna and fried chicken and, I don't know, like beef sandwiches, and your kid goes a little overboard and that one day, it's fine. Like, it's fine. But if your fucking kid is overeating every fucking day because you go to McDonald's for dinner every single day because you're too lazy to cook, or because your kid wants it and you have no backbone and can't say no, then your kid will be fucking fat. Kids aren't not magically fat. The same way that kids aren't naturally bullies. Kids are bullies because they're a product of their environment and probably not so nice stuff is happening at home.
Two, like, having access to healthcare is a privilege, but more so...
Of course, there are some disorders and diseases that can make people gain weight, but it's the food that's the issue. It's the food. It's always the fucking food. Person watching, are you not losing weight? It's because of the fucking food you eat, okay? It's the food. It's not because I'm sitting here with my Fairly Odd parents. Okay, I have one more wish. I'm gonna make everyone in America fat. Ding! No, it's because of what you did. Take some fucking responsibility. Or in this case, it's what the parents did.
Having access to the knowledge about healthcare is more of a privilege. And here y'all go. You don't have to have money to know what calories are.
At this day and age, we all have smartphones, almost all of us. Well, if you're watching this fucking video, then you probably have a smartphone. You can look up nutrition. You know, I'm not a parent. I've never read one of those books about parenting, but I have a feeling that there's probably some sort of information about what the fuck you should feed your child.
Babe, the fuck? What? Like, you think these little tidbits of knowledge about nutritional information are a given. They're really not. Like, you have...
But they can be learned. Everyone I know that's basically an adult sits there and doom scrolls on their phone all day. If they pick up a tidbit of information about nutrition or calories here and there, you could be a fucking expert in the subject in like 5 months, or just like have way more knowledge about something than the average person. Me, someone that has no formal education, I've never taken a dietetics class, I'd never taken a class about nutrition. I feel like I still know more than the average person, but that's because I went out of my way to learn these things. If you have a fat kid, then maybe you should learn about how you should properly feed your child. The same way that if you have a fucking dyslexic kid, then you have to figure out how you can help your kid learn and get a good education still while working through their disability. Like, why are we giving parents a pass? I know parents can't control everything, but like, they can fucking try. They can do like the bare minimum.
Watch your way to learn about them. There's a whole industry out there adamant on making sure that people do not care or know about what's in their food.
There's also this thing called Google where people can learn and research things.
Also, like, go into a public school and go eat a public school lunch.
If you are unsatisfied with what children are eating, then fucking pack your kid a lunch. And there are healthier options at schools. It's just that they taste fucking disgusting. So no one wants them. Like, I was in high school when Michelle Obama changed everything about the school lunches. Ooh. We used to have these cookies in school. I do not know what they fucking put in these cookies, but I would shoot it up in my veins if I had access to it now because it was so good. They used to sell these cookies like this big in school when I was in high school, and chocolate chip cookies. Somehow they were almost raw in the center, but crispy on the edge. I've never had a cookie so good since. Like, I dream about it. My mouth is watering like one of Pavlov's dogs thinking about one of these cookies. Or we had this pizza. It was the best pizza ever. Perfect ratio of sauce and cheese and pepperoni. Then it had this fluffy crust. I swear to God, it was like this big of fluffy crust on the pizza. So scrumptious, so soft and warm and pillowy. And then Michelle Obama like went in the school system and like started making everything healthy. Disgusting. Made the pizza with multi-grain something or other. Pizzas, no more pizza for me. You know what I started, after when that started happening, you know what I started eating for lunch? Just cookies. And it's like, if you give the children access to these things, then that's just all they're gonna want to fucking eat. And of course, I guess that feeds into her point saying like, this is the food that children have access to. But my healthy, normal weight classmates, all of my friends, you know, the people I ate lunch with, they packed their lunch, or if they went and got lunch, it was still a fucking normal food. It's me, the fat ass. It's me, the one that didn't want to eat the multi-grain crust pizza, that decided I'm just gonna have 2 cookies and a chocolate milk for lunch instead of eating something that's a little bit healthier than what was being served the year before.
Surprised that niggas are fat? Like, look, like, literally, like, go and see what they're serving. You think Big Mama over here when I was 250 or whatever I weighed in high school got that way off of what? Sweet green? Nah, bitch. This was chicken patties and fucking school pizza.
But even if kids have access to the bad food or healthy food, it's all about the calories. There were still tons of people in my school that had hot lunch every single day, that bought lunch, that had the pizza and the chicken patties and whatever. They still ate a normal healthy range of calories, so they were still a healthy weight. They had their slice of pizza with their apple juice and maybe a little side salad. And then throughout the rest of their morning and their dinner, they probably had a normal healthy sized meal, so they were still a normal and healthy size. If you like, it's why like You know why you were 250 pounds, because you were overeating. Like the Twinkie diet, perfect example of that. A nutritionist literally did a study showing that it didn't matter what the fuck you ate. It was all about the calories. All he ate was Twinkies and mostly other Hostess products. And he fucking lost weight. It's about the calories. Of course, you need other nutrition like fiber and healthy fats and blah, blah, blah to be healthy. But it's about the calories when it comes to weight. It's always about the fucking calories and the calories burned, which calories burned aren't as important because we don't burn as much calories as we like to think when we go on our walks or play sports. It's about the fucking calories that we chomp on, that we chew, and we swallow.
And bread. And every once in a while I'll buy a muffin. Like, y'all are so weird. And also, it's like, unless you grew up fat, like, you don't understand. Like, people hate when fat people try to do anything. It is
like what?
So bizarre. Like, you would think...
Not really. Like, if a fat person says that they're gonna lose weight, people are like, hell yeah. I'm so excited for your weight loss journey. I want to see you succeed.
People are, like, excited when kids want to engage in exercise or in physical activity. But nah, man. Like, people get mad. My first memory...
What? That made no sense.
...was me playing tag in elementary school when I still lived in the city. And someone literally told me, like, we don't want fat girls playing with us.
Probably because fat girls are slower than the regular sized children. Okay?
Bitch, I'm the person who's supposed to be running. Like, and all, like...
It's about speed. It's not because you're fat. I mean, it kind of is because you're fat, because fat people are more likely to be slower than people that are a healthy weight. But it's not like they were like, I don't want to sit next to this fat person. I don't want to go to school with this fat person. It's literally someone doesn't want to play tag with you because you're going to be fucking slow. You're going to slow down the game.
Continued over and over again. When I used to walk the mile in high school, you would think that people would just like, all right, chill, like, let her walk. Like, no. The gym teachers would actually get irritated that I was even walking. They would be like, just sit down.
No, that probably didn't happen. Because why the fuck does a gym teacher care if you're going slow? Especially because, like, literally, for some reason, half the time gym teachers are fat as fuck. Why does a gym teacher care if you are walking the mile? All they do is fucking stand at the finish line with a stopwatch. That's all they do.
Yo, when I was in college, bitch, like, I remember at my heaviest weight, I was sitting somewhere around 250. I would go to the gym and people would just look at me like, confused. Why are you...
That's what you thought. That's your feelings. Did someone go up to you and say, why the fuck are you here? Everyone is in the gym for the same reason.
Confused. I'm at the skinny bitch factory. Like, this one guy even mocked me.
I doubt it.
That story I think about every fucking day. And I hope he knows I'm praying on his downfall every fucking day. You know what? Actually, I'm going to let go of that forgiveness. Amen. But yeah, y'all are weird. Stop doing that.
Actually, people on Instagram have brains and they disagree with this video. Bad take. I mean, it's subjective. I know people who are D1 athletes and physically literate who had access to healthcare and affordable food, etc. Example, government job and Dollar Tree frozen vegetables, but still chose to feed their kids fast food to the point they needed to get on a weight loss program at 8. It can be both. I understand and agree that systems perpetuate poverty and make it harder for parents to give their children healthy food, as well as lack of information and nutrition, Maslow's theory of needs. If your housing, personal security, and access to food isn't secure, your health isn't the main priority. I also agree it isn't inherently child abuse, but to say that it's not the parent's fault, I really don't know if I agree with that. In the same vein that therapists give action plans to parents and not to children because their children aren't the ones that make the choices. It's the parent's responsibility to instill routine and healthy habits. I understand where people are coming from in the conversations about poverty, but I feel like we focus more attention on that than is actually relevant. In my personal opinion, obesity is kind of more of a middle class issue because, you know, if someone's like actually in poverty, if they are like struggling to survive, they're more likely not even making enough money to put food on the table regularly. So those children are probably underweight or a normal size weight. And if you are an obese adult or you have obese children, you either have to have enough money to overbuy food or have access to junk food because junk food is fucking expensive. Water, I mean, I know you have to pay like your utility bills and stuff, but like water is like fucking for $0 from the sink, from the water fountain. And you know how much pop is? You know how much a 12-pack of pop is? Literally, like I've seen it up to like fucking $12 for a 12-pack. $1 per can. Not for me though, because I'm a frugal queen. And I wait till pop is buy 2, get 2 free. So then it's only $20 for 4 12-packs. So to be obese, you have to have some sort of access to money. And if you don't have direct access to that money, then that means you are going into debt because of food. You still have access to food because you either have enough money to afford that food or you are making financially irresponsible choices to go in debt because of food. If a mother or father like literally can't even fucking make rent, they're not going through the drive-thru several times a week like most middle-class Americans do that are obese. All right, I thought this video was very interesting. The caption says, she's 11 years old. If this doesn't make you angry, we're not paying enough attention. And this Instagram reel is about a 11-year-old that is on Ozempic.
Girl on weight loss injections, and here's her interview on national TV.
I had started to gain weight in about...
Children nowadays, like, literally don't even look like children. I feel like they are, like, 6 years old, and then somehow they look like they're fucking 15. I don't want to say people are growing up too fast, but I think just with social media, people feel so pressured to appear older, or just, I guess maybe just they want to grow up older, or they just want to look like the influencers or the celebrities that they follow. Because don't get me wrong, like, I still wore a little bit of makeup when, was she 11 years old? So she's probably like in 6th grade. I wore a little bit of makeup when I was in 6th grade, and you know, I got some shitty highlights and stuff, but I just feel like this girl literally looks like she could be 15. Like, no one is like an awkward, like, I feel like kids just don't look awkward or like go through growing pains anymore. You know what I mean?
like 2nd grade. And
Like, look at that nose contour. I was not contouring my nose until I was probably 20. And then she has her overdrawn lips too. This is what, as a society, we're teaching our little girls to care about. Don't get me wrong. I think it's fun to play with makeup and, you know, express yourselves, but this doesn't feel like expressing yourselves or like feeling cute. Like, it just feels like there's so much pressure to become a woman when you're 11 years old, you should enjoy being a girl. It's like, girls don't have girlhood anymore. It's really sad.
kids were bullying me at school, and then it started to send me into a depression in 2nd grade. And then I saw my mom and all of this, and I was like, I want to do that.
So, Sophia, you actually started taking the jabs.
And if she didn't have access to social media, she would not even know Ozempic was a thing.
What did you notice straight away about how you was going about eating?
I noticed that, like, my mom had to, like, remind me constantly. She was like, you haven't eaten yet?
It's so fucking sad. I think fucking shame on this mom, to be honest. I understand losing weight sucks and losing weight is hard. And especially as a kid, like, kids obviously know when they are different than other kids. They have a fucking brain and can look into a mirror. This is my opinion, but I feel like the weight loss injection should be given to people that, like, actually really struggle with weight or have some sort of medical disorder and disease. Like, at 11 years old, it's most likely because she's eating too much or her mom isn't paying attention to what she's consuming. She probably hasn't even had a period yet. So, you know, like, she's not being affected by, like, PCOS and insulin resistance. I mean, I could be ignorant and speaking out my ass, but I looked online and it is technically okay, or it is FDA approved for minors to be on Ozempic, but it just, like, it just rubs me the wrong way. Unless, like, a kid has diabetes, I don't even think, like, they should know that these drugs exist.
Probably eat. And then I started to lose weight, and then I started to, like, realize that, like, I actually had a lot of inflammation.
That's such a social media thing. I realized I started having inflammation in my face. Literally no one probably was talking about inflammation 2 years ago. That is such, like, a buzzword right now. And guess what? She's literally a child. She's not inflamed. She just has fucking fat on her face. Because it's not until you're old and your collagen breaks down and your baby fat starts to go away and you slim down a smidge. Let children be children, please. Take away their motherfucking phones.
in my face and like in my arms and in my hands and all
Oh my god, that's so sad. That's not inflammation. Maybe you're just a little chubby and that's how your body looks.
that.
She is still losing her baby teeth, but she is already more than well aware that there is something fundamentally wrong with her body and that it needs fixing.
I feel like that's a bit extreme. I think the medication aspect is kind of the thing that pushes it over the edge. Kids have eyes so they can compare themselves to other people, especially if she was being bullied about her weight. But that should have been a sort of wake-up call to her mom. I'm not sure if her dad's in the picture, they only showed her mom. That should have been a wake-up call to the mom that she should start taking better care of her child. That she needs to start caring about what her child eats.
Failing our children, instead of protecting them from diet culture, we are.
See, it's like, I don't feel like it's diet culture when she's 11 years old. I feel like diet culture is, and I guess younger people can partake in this too, but it's more catered to women because they usually have money, so they can buy into miracle products or juice fasts or, you know, something like really gimmicky, like something that can fix everyone's problems in 3 days. It's not diet culture to like literally be at a healthy weight and have healthy habits. I feel like people get the two so fucking mixed up.
Injecting it into their bodies, literally.
I don't think taking Ozempic is injecting diet culture into our bodies. I just think it's honestly fucked that she's doing it at 11, but most people take it because they need to lose weight because obesity, because I don't know if you guys know this, but being obese is really bad. So most people that are taking Ozempic as adults are doing it for their health.
Children should be growing, learning, playing, not counting calories or taking
I agree with that. It should be the parents' responsibility.
weight loss drugs. This is not care, it's harm. And if this doesn't make us angry, then we're not paying attention.
I think the situation is sad, but what pisses me off the most is the mom. I don't know if she's another parent, I don't know if she's another dad, or if it's just a single mom. They only showed the mom. But the mom should just be focusing on nutrition. That's the part that pisses me off, is the mom would rather put her kid on a fucking pill than take care of her kid. And now, instead of worrying that her kid is overeating, now the kid is undereating because of the different side effects of the medication. But at the end of the day, the mom still has to worry about the kid because that's her goddamn job. Okay, I haven't watched this next video, but I really like this creator. You guys should follow him if you don't already. His name is the Nutrition Narc. I'm sorry, just see, why does she just look so grown up? Like, it just makes me so sad that girls don't get to be awkward and they don't get to experience the growing pains. You know, like, when I was a girl, it just was like, it was a great time to fucking be a girl. You had your own specific stores. And of course, you know, I still wanted to grow up fast when I was a tween. But we had our own, like, tween cute movies. We had our little tween magazines. I feel like kids are literally like 7 and then they're 21. Like they never got to experience childhood and be kids. I mean, I've been online forever. I'm chronically online. I started going on YouTube when I was fucking 8 years old. But I was still doing awkward, weird kid things. I was making cringy ass music videos. I was still hanging out with my friends and going and playing Monkey on Wood Chips. I was still playing Kick the Can while simultaneously having a little cyber life. Now kids are online researching Ozempic and saying that they have inflammation. I pray for you, children. I don't have a religion, and I have a lot of different feelings about God and the universe, but I'm praying for them because they got a lot of shit to unpack. This was posted 3 days ago. A woman puts her 11-year-old daughter on Ozempic. So hopefully this isn't just basically reiterating that video we just watched.
Online is getting criticized for putting her 11-year-old daughter on Ozempic, but I actually think this is a pretty good idea. Let me explain. Childhood obesity is at an all-time high. We have overweight kids, so how do we fix?
Wow, look at those rates. This one says 1963 to 65. Here you go. This is when my dad would have been here. He would have been part of the 5%. My dad's not part of the top 1% of the rich. He was part of the top 5% in obesity as a child in the 70s. But wow, look at this. The last number is from 2017, 2018. And We got up to 20%. That's 1 in every 5, guys. That's crazy.
Option number 1, we tell them they're fat and need to lose weight. Okay, congrats. We now just got an 11-year-old obsessed with counting calories and watching everything they eat, and they...
I know I said I usually like this guy, but you don't have to... Well, first of all, the kid already knows that they're fat, but the kid doesn't need to count the calories. The parents can just prepare the right food for the child. The child doesn't even have to know that they're going on a diet. They can just say, hey, honey, we decided that we're going to make some lifestyle changes as a family, so we don't ostracize the child as a family. So we're going to try and eat more fruits and vegetables, and instead of sitting on our asses every single night, we're going to just go on a little family walk.
Also have body image issues because we put them on a diet. Do you know how
most kids are going to have some sort of body image issues? Anyway, everyone does. And unfortunately, girls have it a little bit more.
damaging it is to get a child obsessed with calorie counting? This is trauma that they are going to carry with themselves for the rest of their life.
But so is being obese.
Option number 2, we can give them a shot every week or so that just doesn't make them hungry and they naturally lose weight. Naturally in the sense that they're just not eating as much because they're not as hungry. A lot of people don't.
Yeah, but then they're going to have to be on that medication for the rest of their life. And I know it's a tool and not everyone gains the weight back after they get off of it, but most likely people do if they don't make those proper lifestyle choices. So if a kid takes Ozempic or Wegovy when they hit 12 years old and they're on it until they're fucking 18 years old and they move out on their own, they are not going to understand what is going on in their mind and their chemistry and their body. If you just give them a fucking shot instead of educating your child about nutrition and what they should and shouldn't eat and how to have a healthy, balanced diet and what are good and bad things to do.
But Wegovy is actually approved for everyone who is above 12 years old. Now going back to the original case, I don't think this girl was
And the mom looks overweight herself.
prime candidate for Ozempic because she wasn't even that overweight. It's extremely common for kids to have like a pudgy upbringing or an awkward fat phase before they hit puberty.
Yeah, my husband, he was like pretty chubby growing up, but I feel like as soon as he hit his teens, he became like a normal, healthy weight. He grew up the chub, and I didn't.
Sometimes it naturally goes away by the time they reach adulthood. But would I put my theoretical kids on Ozempic? Absolutely not. I would exhaust every single option before
Yeah, I feel like that should be a fucking last resort.
there. But for those parents who have tried every single option, why not, bro? It is approved for use above the age of 12. It's gotta be healthier than having an extremely overweight child, right?
That's true. I can't remember who I heard talk about that. But, of course there are side effects to Ozempic and, other GLP-1s. But what is also the risk of staying obese the rest of your life? Yeah, you might have diarrhea or something if you are on Ozempic or Wegovy or whatever. And I'm not sure of the other side effects that can maybe persist the rest of your life if you take it for a short amount of time. But also, what's the risk of being obese the rest of your life? You gotta pick the lesser of evils sometimes.
Let me know what you guys think about this whole situation. And I'm not saying this should be the first option you go to. I'm just saying it should be an option.
And I guess it is an option because it's approved for children over the age of 12. And yeah, this is what I feel like. Option 3, teach your kid to enjoy fitness and don't buy a lot of crap food, lol. Or since you're the parent, you can take charge and change what kind of groceries you buy and meals that you cook. Question mark? We don't need to replace one extreme with the other extreme. You don't need to have them count calories. The parents need to make better meals. Yes. Again, children are products of their environment. And since we're on the topic of Ozempic and GLP-1s as a child, I'm not sure if I've heard too many people talk about this. And to be honest, I only have known a handful of people that have gotten this done as a minor. But I have 2 sisters. They are twins. I'm not twins with them. They are twins with each other. And one of my twin sisters developed binge when she was in middle school and put on a substantial amount of weight. I'm saying she was fucking 350 when she was in 8th grade. And she ended up getting one of the gastric sleeves or one of the gastric bypass surgeries. And of course, I'm not her parent, and I was 16 years old when she got the surgery. But again, I think that's also something that should be a last resort. And I know binge isn't something easy to overcome, and like I've mentioned at the beginning of this video, like I grew up with an alcoholic father, so most EDs stem from other mental health issues or other environmental factors. It's easier said than done to like get your child out of an unhealthy environment, but I feel like if other underlying issues are taken care of when children are overweight, then weight loss will happen naturally or subside, whether that's because a child is emotionally eating because of a bad home life or other circumstances, or a child just eats shit food all the time because their parents go through the drive-thru all the time, or they just have hyper-processed, delicious junk food laying around everywhere. I don't know. I in my personal opinion, I think the sleeve is kind of extreme for a child to get in. I feel like a child can't consent at that age. Like, they can't even imagine what's going to happen next year, let alone the rest of their life with a major surgery. Okay, this one's goofy, but I just fucking love this lady. I think I've included one of her clips in my videos before.
So basically, eat a kid's meal. The kids are big, Raven, so why would I suggest you eat a kid's meal? The kids are enormous. The kids eating kids' meals in their biggest houses. Just because it's a kid's meal doesn't mean it's gonna help you lose fat. How many calories is in that kid's meal?
I've been seeing so many people online ordering kids' meals from different restaurants because not only is it cheaper, the food is actually like a normal portion size. Like this lady I saw, she got Texas Roadhouse and it was like $11 and she got like 2 mini sliders and a baked potato and 6 buns. The 6 buns is a little too much. I don't think you need buns if you're eating fucking hamburgers that have 2 buns there. But it's a more reasonable portion size compared to the adult entree that is double the price and also double the servings. Because quite frankly, the servings that we get at restaurants are humongous and we do not need to be eating all of it.
Kids' meals is 2,000 calories. The grown-up meals, 3,000. Everybody big. Slow down. If you're overweight, your children are also 50 to 70% more likely to also be overweight along with you. So don't eat their meals unless you want to be big like them.
I just fucking love her. I think she's hilarious. And I love women that are straightforward. Even though straightforward women get called bitches, even though we're just telling the truth. And people want women to be quiet and not share their opinion. But I have a lot to say. And that's why I made this YouTube channel. There's a fly buzzing around my room. And it's going to drive me fucking nuts. So here we have kids eat in color. Her caption reads, "Thanks for sharing this message if it resonates with you. I think the phrase childhood obesity epidemic is one of the biggest health tragedies of the last century. Bigger, no pun intended, than the weight trends themselves." Yeah, it's tragic that many children are obese. It's not tragic that there's a label on it. I'd need to write a whole article or book to explain all the whys of that, but I'll just say that I've been in the field of hunger relief. I think more of us should be going hungry because we're all fucking fat. Hunger relief, child nutrition, public health, hearing about the childhood obesity epidemic for 20 years with no progress. Because there's no progress because the sugar industry, the pharmaceutical industry, the hyper-processed food industry lobby the government and pass laws and regulations in favor of those corporations. There will never be progress on the obesity epidemic unless the fucking government does something. Because the French government, over in France, they started taxing sugary beverages, and I'll insert a video I just saw about it.
Hey, Donald Trump. Here's how you can make America healthy again. Look at this graph. One country reduced rates of obesity in the last decade, so let's see what they did. In 2017, France introduced a Nutri-Score system, a color-coded label ranking foods from A, green, healthiest, to E, red, least healthy. It makes identifying healthy options quick and easy. Meanwhile, in the US, our sugary cereals loaded with artificial dyes say made with whole grain on the front of the label just to confuse overworked moms. We need to make our food labels more clear ASAP. Next, France restricts food marketing to kids. Their obesity rates have stabilized while ours have skyrocketed. skyrocketed. A big reason is that they crack down on advertisements for high sugar, high salt, and high fat foods, especially during kids' TV shows. Every processed food ad must include the message, for your health, eat at least 5 servings of fruits and vegetables per day. A buzzkill for the junk food industry. And third, they tax sugary drinks. Research shows sugary beverages increase the risk of type 2 diabetes and heart disease. France added a tax in 2012, like we did with cigarettes. It works. Even banned free soda refills in restaurants. They're not forcing anyone to be healthy, they're just making it easier to be, and it's time we followed their lead. Let me know if you agree.
But now I'm starting to think that that's a B, because it sounds really loud. It was kind of big. Can you just be quiet for like 10 more minutes so I can film this? Thank you. Because the France government isn't corrupt, they were able to help their people. I mean, I like McDonald's. I had McDonald's for dinner last night, but Donald Trump loves McDonald's, so I doubt he's going to be passing any laws that sells McDonald's to cut their crap. The conversation ignores all of the children who are experiencing negative side effects from the food environment, but don't have a high weight. It contributes to the anti-fat bias and stigma. When someone says anti-fat bias and stigma, my brain goes, womp, 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 like Charlie Brown. It's taken away from the things that could move the needle on the health the fastest. I'm so over it. If the childhood obesity epidemic is what you want to chat about, I'm not your conversation partner, because I'll turn it into a conversation about the child health crisis. Laugh emoji. If, however, you want to talk about the child health crisis, remember, guys, why did someone post this on social media? Think that when you see something, why did someone post this? I'm going to tell you now. I'm going to tell you soon. However, if you want to talk about the child health crisis and how we can reduce food marketing to children or competitive foods in schools, then we can have a chat all day. And seriously, if you have any idea for changing policy on marketing food to children, please send me an email so I know who you are. If you're looking for a new mindset about weight and health to help your child, our Parent Weight and Health Toolkit free set of articles is an amazing resource developed by a whole team of child health professionals. DM or comment health24 and I'll auto send you the link, because I want you to subscribe to my newsletter, which is for free, but then I will spam you with other emails in hopes that you'll click them and purchase whatever I'm sending in my newsletter. Or you can hire me to be your kid's nutrition coach. I'm not saying that's what she's doing, but it's probably something around those lines, because girl has to keep the roof over her head, like all of us.
A childhood obesity epidemic. It is a child health crisis.
Obesity is a part of health.
What is happening to children? A child obesity epidemic makes it all about fat on a child.
Because a child has too much fat, which gives them a BMI, which falls under the obese category. Or I think it's different for children. I think they have a different BMI rating, but potato.
Individual and family choices. It means that the only solution is weight loss.
Correct, because if you lose weight, then you're no longer obese.
It is pretty convenient if you think about it.
How is that convenient? Eat less equals lose weight. Brain exploding emoji.
It's all about individual choices.
Well, I guess kids don't have that much of a say. I mean, I guess they do, because they can still, unless they're being force-fed, they can still put the food in their mouth, chew, and swallow. But of course, the parents are usually picking out what the child is eating. So yes, it's up to someone's fucking choice. The kid didn't rub a genie's bottle and tell them that they wanted Pizza Hut for dinner, and it just fucking poofed onto the table. Someone made the decision. Usually the person with money, the parents, make the decision and buy the food for the child. Just doesn't appear out of thin air.
Have to consider systemic healthcare injustice or food access or the effects of food marketing on children.
I don't give a fuck about the food marketing on children, because guess what? The kids go to the parents and the kids say, hey, mommy, I really want this cereal because I saw it on freaking Cartoon Network. Probably a YouTube ad, because kids don't watch fucking TV. And the mom can, or the parent or the dad, whatever fucking gender and title that parent wants. I just say mom because I'm a female and I'm a woman that will be a mother one day. And the mom can say, oh, okay, I'll buy that for you the next time I go to the grocery store. Or the mom can go, that's not really that healthy. Maybe we could have that on a special occasion like your birthday. Or the mom could buy that cereal and the kid can have it like on the weekend and that's it. Children aren't our bosses. Children are children. Children have parents. Parents make decisions for their children, some good, some bad.
We have a whole body of research showing that weight is not just an individual choice, but all of our kids from low to high weight are getting things like hypertension, high cholesterol, type 2 diabetes.
But I bet that is more likely in the children that are obese or the children that are eating hyper-processed junk food, which are more likely obese.
Eating disorders, mental health struggles, so many things in numbers that are truly astonishing. Our children are having a health crisis. But when we call it a child health crisis, all of a sudden we look at the big picture. We look at...
I'm just so annoyed. I'm just can't even think anymore.
Marketing to children. We look at what foods are available in schools. We look at what foods are available in what neighborhoods. We look at the overall picture of health and what things beyond food are affecting children's health. We are looking at so much more beyond how much fat is on a child, and that gives us so many more things to do to improve the health of children. The childhood obesity language is letting so many industries off the hook.
What about how if we just blame the whole motherfucking world, then we get to take no responsibility for anything? If we blame the industries and the systems, it just takes away any sort of control or responsibility for what we do. Guess what? There's also this thing called the tobacco and alcohol industry. I don't smoke, even though it seems really cool and everyone fucking does it. And they have vapes now that are banana split flavor and potato chip, nacho cheese, baked potato, fucking ice cream sundae flavor, root beer float sundae, orange cream flavor. But I don't want popcorn lungs, so I don't vape. Or what about alcohol? I went to college. I rarely partied. I rarely overdrank. But the drinking culture is very prominent in college. What else? What other industries? And I still don't really drink to this day. I don't like how it makes me feel, but I also am trying to lose weight. And drinking is excess calories I don't want to consume, but also makes you inflamed. And also, have I mentioned my dad is an alcoholic, so I also technically probably have the genetics to become an alcoholic, and I don't want to risk that. Where's the fucking responsibility? We have this whole world. Guess what? There's so many things that fucking suck in this world. There's so many industries that suck, but there's still personal choices to be made. The fast fashion industry sucks. It's polluting the earth. It's making people go into so much consumer debt that they can't even pay their fucking bills. I watch these Caleb Hammer videos that I reacted to, but guess what? I can choose to go to the fucking thrift store and buy some clothes instead. Whoa. Well, the fast food industry is everywhere. What if I just go to my house instead of going through the drive-thru and make some fucking food that way? What about what you can do? What about you? What can you do? We are not victims of our circumstances. We are not completely helpless. We can make choices. What's that? I'm going to put up on the screen how many decisions a human being makes in the day. That is how many choices that we have fucking made. You realize how we didn't have zero choices? Because there are some things in our life that we can do and that we have control over. Did you guys know that? Did you guys brush your teeth this morning? Because you had a choice not to. Did you know that? Some people know this, but you have the choice to put on deodorant or not. You know the people that choose not to. Okay? You can choose things. You can choose to drink water or Mountain Dew. It's not that hard. I can't.
Industry and others for the harm that they are causing to children.
To the harm the parents are causing the children.
So it is time for us to call this what it is.
You know what? It's always the skinny people. If it's just so normal, if it's just so normalized to be obese, and it's the industries and it's the systems problems and it's all these people profiting, then why aren't you fucking fat? Why aren't you fat, lady? Why are you health at every size dietitians? Why are you people are obese because they're in poverty? Why are all these thin social justice warriors preaching about how people can be healthy at every size? Why are they always skinny? It's almost like because they have healthy habits that keep them at a healthy weight range because they eat healthy food. And this lady's literally speed walking and making a fucking TikTok. And she's not even out of breath. She is clearly a healthy person, which is why she's not obese. And I'm not sure if she's a mother, but she probably doesn't have obese children either. because she makes healthy choices for said children. Or hypothetical children. I don't know this fucking lady.
It is a child health crisis.
It's a, I don't give a fuck about myself because I'm a fat fuck. I don't care about my weight and I don't care about my nutrition. And then I also found this other human being that also carries the same values as me that also doesn't care about their weight and their health. And those two people, they fornicated and created life. And now they're going to have a child that also does not care or is ignorant to nutrition and weight. That is how the childhood obesity epidemic has started. I'm not fat for no fucking reason. Half of the children on my block are fat too. They are not fat for no reason. They are fat because their parents do not feed them correctly and probably don't make them go outside and play enough. You guys look at our comment section. All these people commenting health 24, because they want to go get her free newsletter about how to make their kid no longer fat. By the time I'm done filming these videos, like, I feel like I'm just, like, going fucking crazy, just sitting here screaming. And now my husband's home, so I'm ending my video. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, make sure to like this video. And if you enjoyed this video, subscribe to me. Bye.